this meeting of the Torrington City Council. This is Tuesday, February 17th, 2026. We have Ryan Caith here from KGOS and KERM Radio. This council meeting is being broadcast live on both local radio stations. It's also on YouTube and stays up permanently on YouTube. We also have here with us tonight Phoenix Barons from the Torrington Telegram. Welcome to the press. Good evening and welcome to all. We're happy to have you here. Our first order of business is the pledge, and I've asked Councilman Rick Warren to lead us.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Our next item on the agenda are the mayor's informational items. It's been terribly windy today, that's an obvious statement, but the recent warm weather has been very nice. I see many of you getting out and working on your yards and taking advantage of the warm weather to walk, jog, and engage in recreational activities and play in many of our parks. I also see many kids out there on electric bikes and electric scooters. Please be careful out there. And also a friendly reminder that children under 16 must wear a protective helmet while riding electric bikes and electric scooters. Of course, we have been very dry. Please take extra precaution with regard to any open flames. It does look like we may get some relief in the next couple of days with the possibility of some amount of snow. We will take any we can get. The legislature is in full swing in their 2026 20-day budget session. I know they do want to hear from you. And so again, I will give you their contact information. Senator Sherry Steinmetz from Senate District 3. Her email is sherry, Steinmetz, STEINMETZ @wyoleg, WYOLEG.gov. And Senator Steinmetz's phone number is 307-534-5342. We also have Representative Scott Smith. He is in House District 5. His email is scott, SCOTT, .smith, SMITH @wyoleg, WYOLEG.gov. And Representative Smith's phone number is 307-575-3742. And Representative J.D. Williams, he's representative from House District 2, and his email is jd.williams, WILLIAMS, @wyoleg, WYOLEG.gov. And Representative Williams' phone number is 307-340-6006. And tonight I want to give a special thanks and recognition for Andrea Griffin and the Andrea Griffin family and the Sittner family. Andrea was the victim of a tragic hit-and-run incident in Torrington. Andrea was severely and permanently injured. Due to the hard and persistent work of the Griffin and Sittner families, including brother Kelly Sittner and sister Cindy Huckfelt, and the excellent work of Chief of Police Matt Johnson and the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, and Senator Steinmetz and Representative Scott Smith, Senator Steinmetz and Representative Smith are near the finish line, I believe, in amending the state hit-and-run statute. This amendment would allow for felony prosecution of hit-and-run drivers whose victims are severely injured. Nice work all on that bit of legislation. Kudos to Senator Sherry Steinmetz, the Wyoming Association of Sheriffs and Chiefs of Police, including our own Chief of Police, Matt Johnson, for moving through some legislation to help fund local dispatch centers. Right now, that bill provides for $3 million to help fund local dispatch centers. Also, I believe there was $750,000 in that legislation to fund a next generation for 911 in Wyoming. Wyoming, in many places, is 40 years behind, and that's necessary spending by the state. So, with that, I say great work, Senator Steinmetz and Chief Johnson. We all know how critical emergency dispatch is to our health, safety, and welfare. As always, please drive safely, please slow down, please watch for pedestrians and school buses, and please do not use your cell phones while driving. All right, we are on the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of the consent agenda, which includes minutes from the February 3rd, 26th council meeting as published.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the consent agenda.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Kelly. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the consent agenda as published or as presented, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, the consent agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda itself. And just a little bit of preface. Let's see. I, Councilman Deal, Councilman Victorin, Clerk Treasurer Strecker, Deputy Clerk Anaya, and Deputy Treasurer Bobby Dawkins, we're all down at WHAM. Normally, we work on the agenda on Thursday afternoon and finalize it on Friday morning. This year, because we were down at WHAM, we had to do all this on Wednesday morning. So, I'm not surprised that we need to ask for an amended agenda. And I've briefly discussed it with council as soon as I arrived, but what I'm looking for is a motion to add 1A, which is an informational item relating to a grant from Black Hills Energy Foundation. 1B, which is a proclamation for the FFA week that's just ahead, I believe. That's 1B, and 1C would be a motion to approve the golf course concessionaire agreement with the city and the business lease agreement with the city. So that's item 1A, item 1B, and item 1C, and then the rest would remain as it's set forth. So with that bit of explanation, I'd take any questions, but I would entertain a motion for an amended agenda also.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the agenda as amended.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve an amended agenda as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a second from Councilman Kelly. Is there any? Warren, I'm sorry. Don't know my left from my right. All right, I have a motion and a second to approve the amended agenda. Is there any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'd call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the amended agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, we have an amended agenda that's approved. So we are on item 1A, and I got a call from, I'm sorry, thank you. Before we get to that, okay, I see Mr. Doug Mercer back there. If you want to come up, Doug. This is the public forum, and I'll explain it to folks. This is for non-agenda items. There is a time limit of 2 minutes, and the speaker must sign up before the meeting. Mr. Doug Mercer has done that. This is a time for council to listen. No action will be taken, but Mr. Mercer, you have 2 minutes to tell us stuff.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I wanted to plant a seed with you people this evening. I go to the Berean Church on East D Street, and we share a trash dumpster with a business, which is the insurance company. They're across the alley. It's a T-shaped alley. And then somebody else on a street west of us shares that same dumpster. And I talked to Ed today, and he thought that the church probably pays low commercial fees, something around the mid-60s for trash collection per month. And we would like you guys to consider making a new category of commercial, which would be, even though it's called small commercial, the fee isn't small, but our trash is. We're a small church. We usually seat 30 people per Sunday, and we're just we're trying to save money, as everybody else is, so we're looking for ways to do that, and we'd like the council to bring that up in one of your meetings when you have time. And if you have any questions from me, just notify me, and we'll see if there's any way to proceed forward.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Mercer.
You bet. Thanks for your time.
And sorry for skipping over you. All right. Back to the agenda. I now am on item 1A, and we were going to have Miss Lori Farkas. Yeah, she's in community relations, I guess, for lack of a better word, for Black Hill Energy Foundation, and she was going to drive up from Cheyenne, but she wasn't able to do it because they're having emergencies with Black Hill Energy out there with the windy conditions. But I have Mr. Chuck Kenyon here, the city emergency coordinator, and he can address this issue and give us some information. So, Mr. Kenyon.
Mr. Mayor, Council, after council meeting a month ago, when discussion of the pool boiler came up and the search for funding to replace that, a little light went off in the back of my brain. It sometimes happens. And I reached out to my contact at Black Hills Energy, Ms. Lori Farkas, who is their community relations, public information officer, et cetera, to see if Black Hills Energy would like to have a part in that replacement of that boiler. Turns out they did. She presented it Monday to their foundation, this past Monday, or yesterday, I guess. And they have announced, or they will announce, that they are funding our project at 100% through the Community Pride Foundation of Goshen County. The Black Hills Energy Foundation makes donations to 501c3s, and we needed to have a 501c3 to accept the donation on our behalf. There's a slight processing fee that Community Pride takes out of it, but basically we get the entire project funded. In conversations with Black Hills, they wish to have a little branding involved with the project, perhaps a community event sometime during the summer at the pool. And also, Ms. Farkas would love to join us at perhaps another council meeting, the next one, to present a big, large check for a photo opportunity with the city council. That said, can I answer any questions the bench would have?
Would it be beneficial to put like a little plaque or something on this?
I believe some signage at the pool would be, would be what they would be looking for. Some acknowledgement of their generous donation.
And I don't have any questions, Mr. Kenyon, but I'll tell everybody that I got a call from Chuck Kenyon about 4:30 yesterday afternoon, and he was as happy as Chuck gets. And he was explaining to me this grant that was awarded by Black Hills Energy Foundation, and I was thrilled to hear it. It truly is a blessing to this community to have that. So just thanks to Black Hill Energy Foundation and you, Chuck, for starting this and seeing it through, and we just are very appreciative. So
Thank you, sir.
thank you. All right. Thank you, Chuck.
Thanks, Chuck.
All right, we are on item number 2, which is a proclamation declaring this to be National Future Farmers of America, otherwise known as FFA Week. And what I'll do is I have a supervisor for FFA, Mr. Jason Groney, and some students out there. I will read this proclamation, and then I will invite you forward, and you may say a few things or maybe answer some questions council might have. And then after that, I will ask council for a motion for me to approve the signing of this proclamation. But first, I want to read it. The proclamation reads as follows. City of Torrington, National FFA Week Proclamation. February 21 through 28, 2026. Whereas FFA and agricultural education provide a strong foundation for the youth of America and the future of food, fiber, and natural resources systems, and whereas FFA promotes premier leadership, personal growth, and career success among its members, and whereas agricultural education and FFA ensure a steady supply of young professionals to meet the growing needs in the science, business, and technology of agriculture, and whereas the FFA motto, quote, learning to do, doing to learn, earning to live, living to serve, unquote, gives direction and purpose to these students who take an active role in succeeding in agricultural education. And whereas FFA promotes citizenship, volunteerism, patriotism, and cooperation, therefore, be it resolved that I, Herb Doby, Mayor of the City of Torrington, Wyoming, do hereby claim February 21 through 28, 2026 as National FFA Week. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and signature as Mayor of the City of Torrington, Wyoming, this 17th day of February, 2026. Herb Doby, Mayor. Attest, Lynette Stricker, Clerk Treasurer. So that's the reading of the proclamation, and Mr. Groney, if you would like to bring yourself and the kids up here. I hope you don't resent being called kids. The students, nice to have you all.
Thank you. Okay. I first, on behalf of the Torrington Legal FFA, want to thank the council and the mayor for inviting us and giving us this opportunity to, I don't know, have FFA week.
Well, give us your name, though.
I'm Augurina Duggar.
Say again?
Augurina Duggar.
Okay.
Oh, I'm the vice president. of
Vice
the chapter.
President?
Yep.
Okay. Anybody else want to? Go ahead, we won't
I'm
bite.
Tatum Carlson. I serve as the sentinel for our FFA chapter.
Oh, hi, Tatum.
I'm Taylor Cushman, and I'm the treasurer of the chapter.
I'm Ava Madison. I'm just regular. Just here to support.
Remember? Well, young ladies, thank you for being brave enough to come up to this podium. And obviously, this is an excellent organization, and you're in an excellent county and city to be part of this organization. I might get this wrong, but I looked, I don't know, I think the last data I saw was in 2017, but Goshen County agricultural output was about 300 million. It's still the biggest output for dollars in this county. It is truly an agricultural county, so you're in the right field, I think.
Thank you for having
Gilman,
us.
any questions?
Well, Mr. Mayor, I told them
Comments?
they only had 3 minutes apiece, so they can.
Well, you look great and you speak well, and I'm happy you're doing this. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor, I wondered if girls, if you could tell us what activities you're in your FFA chapter and maybe what you're looking forward to here in the upcoming state convention.
Oh,
I am hoping to participate in marketing plan. I've done speaking events before, and that has been my go-to. But for convention, it's my last one, so I'm just looking to have fun and hang out and meet new people.
I do poultry judging and ENR, and I really hope that our poultry team does well this year. We did good last year, but I just want to win this year.
I just do ENR. I used to do CCM, Code of Conduct, so it's kind of cool to watch you guys do all the stuff that we learned. But yeah, I guess I'm just looking forward to hanging out and getting a new team together since we lost a couple seniors last year.
I participate in livestock judging. I signed up for ag sales this year, and I'm a part of the judging team, livestock judging team. I just really look forward to going to convention. It's always a good time. You always get to meet new people, and it just really pushes you out of your limits, out of your box. So,
thank you, ladies.
How many are in your chapter now? How many members?
There were 73 of us.
Does that make you one of the more larger chapters in the state?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I neglected to do this, but Councilman Victorin always brings this to my attention each year about FFA week, so kudos to Councilman Victorin for bringing this to my attention. I'm happy to do it. I think it's a wonderful organization, especially in a county like Goshen County, and appreciate the adults that are involved in it, and I think it's very good for you young people.
Thank you.
Welcome. Mr. Groney?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, they'll speak for you, right, for their own club.
Do you need a picture, or are we good?
Are you sure? Sure.
All right, how do you, someone be the director of the
How about we go
picture?
in the front here with them?
Okay.
We guys were supposed to go Oh, my phone's in my pocket. My phone's also in my pocket. Sorry. Kids, where are we going?
Go,
Right,
well,
right here's fine.
just in front of here? Okay.
Just grab in there, ladies.
Over here, balance
Get the mayor over here.
Uh-huh.
Good-looking group.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Groney.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We appreciate it.
It's so cool to see this kid.
He does a hell of a job.
Yeah, it is.
70-some members, I don't know if that's the average or not, but it's quite a few.
We had a fraction of that when I was a member, so.
With that, I would, in item 1B, I would entertain a motion to approve the proclamation and approve my signing of the proclamation.
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve my signing of the National FFA Week proclamation. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Victorin. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, all those in favor of approving the National FFA Week proclamation and my signing of the proclamation, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, I will indeed sign the proclamation. All right, we are now on item 1C, which is council to consider the concessionaire agreement between the city of Torrington and the Cottonwood Country Club, and also the business lease agreement between the city of Torrington and the Cottonwood Country Club, and these relate to the sale of liquor and beer at the golf course and the issuance of a liquor license to do so. So, with that, I would first, and I think we should do the concessionaire agreement first. Mr. Eddington, could you give us a brief explanation of that concessionaire agreement?
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Approximately 3 weeks ago, I'll just give you a quick background. Chief Johnson and Sylvia were brainstorming on some potential income options out at the golf course. And during that, it included a review of our lease agreement, which was actually March 15, 2010 with the Cottonwood Country Club. And it had an automatic renewal. In reviewing that, there was concern that we were not complying with a new, part of a new statute, not a new statute, an amended subdivision E of an old statute. As a result of that, we met with the club, talked to the Liquor Commission, and decided on a path forward. Resulting from all those discussions is this concessionaire agreement. What the Liquor Commission wanted was more of a, we didn't have a building out there that we sell our own alcohol from. We subcontract with the club, and we're able to do that pursuant to the statute. But we didn't have a building, so that's the purpose of the lease agreement, and that's the only purpose of the lease agreement that you'll see. The real meat and potatoes, if you will, is the concessionaire agreement, And those terms make it clear that we are contracting with them to sell that alcohol to the public for possession and consumption on the golf course. And that's the real intent of the statute 124301. And so part of the issue was, since we didn't have a golf club ourselves, we had to come up with this temporary members definition. And that is the main issue, if you will. Paragraph 6 of this concessionaire agreement defines temporary members. The club added a little bit to it. We made all those changes. The club signed this morning, and the Liquor Commission approved this morning and this afternoon, and so I think we're in good shape. We would ask for your approval of both of these agreements and have the mayor sign them tonight or tomorrow, and then we'll get them off to the Liquor Commission. We have identical agreements, if you will, dated from today's date through March 31 of 26, which is the balance of the current license. As we sit here today, there is no sales to the public at the Cottonwood Country Club for use on the golf course. And there was over 30 tee times this weekend because it was so nice, including myself was one of them. So all that amounted to is the public was not able to consume alcohol over the weekend on the golf course. The members are still able to do that in the club itself. This new agreement, if you will, would allow that to happen for the next 6 weeks. And then this agreement that would take effect on April 1 and run to March 31 of 27 would be in place this next year, next season, if you will, to run concurrent with the dates of the liquor license. And so we're asking for your approval of that to continue basically what we've been doing for the last 15 years. In addition to that, we plan on getting a committee together and continuing to visit with the country club about ways to increase revenue out there that may help us both. They are very interested in doing that, as are we, and so hopefully in another month we got a committee together and we're meeting at least once a month or once every other month to see if there are any other things we can do. But the pertinent issue tonight is this concessionaire agreement that basically defines temporary members and allows us to continue doing what we've been doing for 15 years. Thank you.
Gentlemen, any questions for Mr. Eddington? Councilman Victor?
So, Mr. Eddington, so temporary member is anybody who purchases a golf license, either yearly, annual, or daily, and then proceeds to purchase alcohol through the club for consumption on the course.
Correct.
And then, do I also see here that the agreement also affords a temporary member to attend activities hosted by the club?
The intent of that is the club has a few, like a wedding.
Sure.
Or different, they've had
Tournaments, maybe?
tournaments, all kinds of things, and allows those participants, if you will, to also be temporary members for that event or that day to purchase alcohol also.
Okay, very good, thank you.
Mr. Eddington, what, in number 9, it talks about a fee. What's the fee for?
It's for the liquor license that we possess, that we're contracting with them, and that's what they've paid every year.
$1,500?
Yeah, it's a limited retail.
Well, on the other sheet here, the limited retail says it's only 3 limited club. Is it a limited club or limited?
Limited retail. We've always charged them $1,500. Their original club, I think, was $650 or something. I don't remember what it was.
Because I don't see a limited club listed on this sheet, other sheet here.
Well, there should be a club license listed.
There's a limited club, but that's only $300.
Okay, that's what they were paying before. And now they pay $1,500, but it allows them to sell to the public on the golf course. And that was the specific intent of that statute.
Okay. Okay.
That's for the license itself. And they paid theoretically this year already through March 31, and then there'll be a new payment if you approve that license again tonight.
And I appreciate the work that was put into this, because I know Mr. Eddington did a lot of work, and Chief Johnson did, and Sylvia, and Lynette, and others, and even Jason Allen from the State Liquor Commission. There were meetings, and I appreciate Chief Johnson. This is legal. We want to be legal. This is the city of Torrington's liquor license, and the last thing we want to do is do anything that's not in compliance with the statute. And I'm sure the Cottonwood Country Club doesn't want to be not in compliance with the statute either. So this brings us into full compliance and full approval by the State Liquor Commission, right?
Correct.
Also, just as a matter of convenience for the agenda and a matter of law, I guess, too, if council chooses to approve this business lease agreement and this concessionaire agreement at this point on the agenda, then it will be smooth sailing when we get on the second page of the agenda to approve the liquor license.
And Mr. Mayor, if I may, I just want to repeat for the public, I know a lot of people might have a curiosity as to how the city has its own liquor license, but the state law allows the city to have it. The way we're doing it is we're missing some components that the law allows, like the actual building for the club. So by how Mr. Eddington explained it, leasing space essentially from them in exchange to serve. That's how we have come to this agreement. And so, obviously, it'd be easier if the city owned its own club, but we don't. That's neither here nor there for reality purposes. So,
And that's a good point, Councilman Victor, because you got to have a locale in order to store the liquor and sell it out of. So that's what that does.
That's the purpose of the lease agreement, because we don't have a building. So we're leased that from that, which is common. A lot of bars and restaurants don't own the building, they lease it, or they may just do it for strategic purposes, do a lease, and that's what we're doing here. And there's a separate statute that requires that building, and Jason Allen approved that lease agreement today also.
and it's beneficial for both parties.
Absolutely.
Very beneficial.
And the public.
Yeah.
And the public, the thirsty public.
Yeah. All right, any further questions for Mr. Eddington? All right, I would entertain a motion to approve the concessionaire agreement as presented and the business lease agreement as presented in item 1C.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, before we move to that, did we
Yes, sir.
talk about the lease agreement?
Kinda. Jim
Just-
mixed them together, but go
Yeah,
ahead and.
the terms of that really have not changed, other than we added the language, I wanted to add the language on 4, we try to make it very specific that the sole purpose is to maintain a premises for selling and dispensing alcoholic malt beverages pursuant to the concessionaire agreement. So we tie them together. And then we refer to the statute in number 1 that wasn't there. Other than that, it's almost verbatim from the earlier business lease agreement on the golf course.
All right. And my mistake, I just heard Mr. Eddington when he
I
was
alluded
explaining, he
to
was
it,
kind of mixing
yeah.
them both together. But, yeah, they are two separate agreements, but they work together.
They certainly do.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no further questions, I would move to approve the concessionaire agreement and the business lease agreement as presented.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to approve the business lease agreement as presented and the concessionaire agreement as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, item 1C, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving the business lease agreement as presented and the concessionaire agreement as presented, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, both those agreements are approved. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We are now on item 1 under action items, public hearings. And so I will open this up for public hearings. Just so everybody has an idea of what I'm trying to do here, I intend to, all those retail liquor licenses that are on the front page under A all the way down to the bottom, I want to go through each one, open it for public hearing, ask for public comments for or against, and work my way through it. And then when we get on the top of the second page, I would intend to close the public hearing and then ask council for a vote on those liquor license applications.
Mr. Mayor, do you propose to approve the licenses by classification?
Yes.
Okay.
And then working my way, first one is retail liquor licenses on the front page, and then we'll work through the others on the back page in a similar way.
Okay.
And part of the reason I do this is I know we have folks here who are applicants, and they're certainly able to get up and speak for their application. And then if anybody wants to speak against an application, they certainly have a right to do so. And I know we have some people here, so that's part of the intention of or part of my intent in doing it this way. But we're in public hearing right now, but before we do that, I would ask Miss Sylvia Naya, she's our deputy city clerk. Notice has been given about these liquor licenses in the paper.
Correct.
Okay, so we've met all notice requirements.
Yes.
Thank you, Ms. Anaya. And this is sort of addressed to Mr. Eddington, City Attorney, and Chief Johnson, Chief of Police. First, I'd call on Chief Johnson. Do you have anything to say about these retail liquor licenses that are in item A on the first page?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. I have no objections to renewing any of those licenses. Thank you.
Recommend approval?
I do recommend approval.
Okay. All right, any questions for Chief Johnson or Mr. Eddington?
Have we had any of these fail compliance checks or anything?
We do 2 rounds of compliance checks each year. Our failure rate this year was slightly higher than it has been in previous years. We had 4 failures. In those 4 failures, the employee was addressed in each one of those, and then we do take corrective action with the license holder. I'd have to go through and look if you want the exact businesses that had a failure here. We did have one with Cobblestone, one with Essential Fuels, one with the Holiday Inn, and one with the Mint Bar. All of those were addressed and corrected.
I do have a question about SS&G Inc. doing business as the Holiday Inn. I noticed that they are in perhaps some bankruptcy filings or something in the newspaper recently. And I was curious, did they actually pay their fee for their renewal?
That would be, yeah. Sorry, I don't have that info.
Okay.
Well, that's a good point. Ms. Anaya, have all these applicants paid their fees?
Yes.
All right, if there aren't at this point any questions for Chief Johnson or Mr. Eddington or Ms. Anaya, we are in open public hearing, and I will just go down through these. First one on the list is Essential Fuel LLC, doing business as Essential Fuels. Is there anyone here to speak for that? Is there anyone here to speak against that one? All right. I will go on to the next one, Old Gray Fox, Inc., doing business as the Mint Bar. Is there anyone here to speak for that? Anyone here to speak against it? Okay. Next one on the list is Caroline Garcia, doing business as La Familia Prado. Is there anyone here to speak for it? Anybody here to speak against it? Next one on the list is Chugwater Brewing Company, Inc., doing business as J&B Liquor. Anybody here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Okay. Next one is Adrian Garcia, doing business as Thirsties. Anyone here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none, next one on the list is Maverick, Inc., doing business as Maverick Store, number 293. Anybody here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none, and next one is the Cigarette Store, LLC, business as Smoker Friendly Gasomat. Anyone here to speak for that or against that? Seeing none. Next one is SS&G Inc., doing business as Holiday Inn Express. Anyone here to speak for that or against that? Seeing none, I'll move on. Open Barrel Brewing Company, LLC, doing business as the Open Barrel Brewing Company. Anyone here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none, I'll go to the next one. Torrington Hotel, LLC, doing business as Torrington Cobblestone Hotel. Anyone here to speak for that applicant? Against that applicant? Seeing none, I'll move to the next one. TJL, LLC, doing business as Bronco Bar. Anyone here to speak for that applicant? You don't have to. You're welcome to. Okay. Anybody here to speak against that applicant? Okay. Next one on my list is San Pedro JC, LLC, doing business as San Pedro Taqueria. Anyone here to speak for that or against that? The next one is Crenmark, LLC, doing business as LTD Edition. Anyone here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none. Last one on my list on item A, Evencio, LLC, doing business as Thrifty's Gas and Liquor. Anybody here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none. All right, we've had public comments for and against all those applicants listed on item A on the front of page of your agenda. We've gone through the process, so I will close the public hearing as to those applicants and item A on the front page, and would entertain a council vote. I would entertain a motion to approve those liquor license applications.
Mr.
Item
Mayor,
A.
I would make a motion to approve the retail liquor licenses as presented.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the retail liquor licenses as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Kelly. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the retail liquor licenses as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, those retail liquor licenses as presented are approved. All right, we are now on the second page. I closed it for the council vote, so I'll reopen it. We are in open public hearing. We are dealing with item B on the second page for limited club liquor licenses, and I intend to go through this like I did on the retail liquor licenses. The first one on the list is Elks BPO 1726, doing business as Elks 1726. Anyone here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none, I'll go to the next one. Torrington Lodge number 664, Loyal Order of Moose, doing business as Torrington Moose Lodge 664. Anyone here to speak for or against that applicant? Seeing none, I'll move to the next one. Travis Snow, Post 5, doing business as the American Legion Club. Anybody here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Seeing none, I'll move to the last one under B, limited club liquor licenses. The last one there is City of Torrington, doing business as Country Club. Anyone here to speak for that applicant or against that applicant? Hearing none, I will then go ahead and close the public hearing and ask a councilman or a council vote on B, the limited club liquor licenses applications.
Mr. Mayor, I would move to approve the limited club liquor license renewals.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Victron in item B to approve the limited club liquor license renewals. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion? I'll go ahead and call for a vote. All those in favor in item B of approving the limited liquor license renewals signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, those limited liquor club renewals are approved. All right, I'll go ahead and reopen this for public hearing. We're on item C, restaurant liquor licenses, and we have two of them there. So I will go through those two and take public comments. And the first one is Tiffany Leslie, doing business as Bronco Grill House. Anyone here to speak for that applicant? Anyone here to speak against that applicant? Seeing none. Go down to the next one. Second one in item C is Pamela J. Delgado Garcia, doing business as Garcia's Mexican Restaurant. Anyone here to speak for that applicant? Anyone here to speak against that applicant? Seeing none. I will go ahead and close the public hearing related to item C, restaurant liquor licenses, and entertain a motion from council.
Mr. Mayor, I'd move to approve the restaurant liquor license renewals.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve the restaurant liquor license renewals. Do I have a second?
Second.
I'm not sure.
Me.
Second by Councilman Victron. Any further discussion? Hearing none, item C, all those in favor of approval of the restaurant liquor license renewals signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, those restaurant liquor renewals are approved. All right, I will go ahead and open the public hearing again for item D, the microbrewery permit, dual holding. So we're open for public hearing. The only one on the list is the Open Barrel Brewing Company, LLC, doing business as the Open Barrel Brewing Company. Is there anyone here to speak against that applicant? Is there anybody here to speak for that applicant? I got that switched. Seeing none, I will go ahead and close the public hearing in item number D for the microbrewery permit and entertain a motion from council.
I'll make a motion to approve the Open Barrel Brewing Company.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Kelly in item D to approve the microbrewery permit renewal for Open Barrel Brewing Company. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion, gentlemen? Hearing none, I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approval of the microbrewery permit renewal for Open Barrel Brewing Company in item D signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, that microbrewery permit in D is approved. The renewal is approved. All right. We are in regular session. We are on item number 2, second page, ordinance on first reading relating to roofing permit fees. And I would ask Mr. Eddington to please read that ordinance by title.
It's an ordinance amending and reenacting section 5.26.040 of the Torrington Municipal Code, 2026 revisions, relating to roofing permit fees.
Thank you, Mr. Eddington. And call on Mr. Dennis Estes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Comes before you because last May during the budget session, they were looking for ways to increase revenues. So I got this ordinance together. For some reason, years ago, before I ever started here, there was a permit fee schedule for roofing permits. Because I think in the past, before the building ever got going, that the roofing permits was about the only thing you did permit. So we looked at this and I updated it to fit our new things we're doing here in the building department. And right now I charge a roofing permit on a residential home $75. Actually, on any roofing permit right now is $75. What you'll see at the bottom on E, where it says roofing permits for buildings and structures permitted under the International Building Code shall be charged a fee set forth in Appendix L of the Residential Code. For some reason in the building codes, we have two codes. We have a residential code, which takes care of 1 and 2 family dwellings, and then anything after that moves into a building code. So if you're building a home or a duplex, you're going to be by the residential code. For some reason, the international folks have the fee schedule in the residential code. So we adopt that anytime somebody comes in for a building permit. I go through that fee schedule to figure out what they're paying for a building permit. Roofing permits are different, and here's why. I'm a one-person office, and when we have a hailstorm, as we did in 2014 and 15, I bet I permitted 3,000 or 4,000 roofs by myself. What this does, if I have to figure out a permit fee schedule on this schedule they have, it takes me a lot of time. The contractors don't know how to bid the project right because they don't know what the fee's going to be, and they're calling all the time wanting to know what the fee is. So back in 2014, I just set the fee at $75 for every roof.
And that was an emergency situation.
That was an emergency situation because there was a lot of permits. And that can happen again this summer. But in an effort to curb that, the contractors like that. They know what to charge. They know what to put on their estimates for residential homes. So what this does is it puts a $150 fee on any permit for any home, any residential structure under the International Residential Code. When we get into a commercial building or a bigger building, it would go on the fee schedule, and we would go per the fee schedule to charge them for that. But other than that, that's about what all this is, and it just basically doubles the roofing permit fee. I spoke with a local roofer here that does a lot of roofs. He's in favor of it. He goes to other jurisdictions, and he says it's just a rat race to get what they're going to charge me. Every one of them's different. Most of them go by this fee schedule, but they'd like to get rid of it themselves if they could, so just for the roofing.
Mr. Mayor, the only thing I found confusing, Dennis, was under item A, I understand the general contractor's license. And then item B, since this is roofing permit fees, should that be a general roof contractor's permit shall be granted?
Yeah, thank you.
In B, that instead of license, that should read permit.
Just clears up the difference between the roofing
Correct,
permit and the general contractor's license.
I'm surprised Sylvia didn't catch that. She does really well with that.
In practice, Mr. Mayor, if I could, a roofer shall acquire the license and then a permit.
Correct.
Great.
I can't give a permit until they have a license.
I just have a question on E. Help me understand a little bit better. The permits for building and structures permitted under that code are, you're talking about anything that's not residential. Is that correct?
So again, and it is confusing, so thank you for the question. They have two codes. The International Residential Code, which only deals with 1 and 2 family dwellings. So anything past that, like an apartment building, a commercial building, I would go to the International Building Code, not the Residential Code.
Okay.
But let me just ask you this, Dennis. Me again. So if someone wants to come in and get a permit for a large commercial building, okay, the way you're going to calculate the permit fee is based on Appendix L of the International Residence Code?
So what they do, and what was happening during the roofing I would get two similar roofs come in, and one roofer would come in and he'd say, this roof cost me $8,000. I'd get a similar home, and that roofer would come in and say, that building's only gonna cost me $3,000 because they want to get a cheaper permit. So the one thing the one fee did was just get everybody on the level playing field, because you get some roofing companies in here that you don't see them till they come in, and you don't see them till they leave, because they're by the night, they're just in and out. So,
But I think I heard you say, Dennis, earlier, all roofing is under the residential code. Is that correct?
all residential home roofs. So any one and two family dwellings is considered a residential. So like if Councilman Kelly come in and they wanted to do his house, I'd charge him right now $75. If Councilman Kelly wanted to do his business, I would go on the cost of the project, I would get that cost, put it in my fee schedule, and calculate it out for his business.
Okay.
Under the International Residential Code. It
Well,
says
that-
residential code.
That's what's confusing, is because the fee schedule, Appendix L, is only in the residential code. I don't know why they do that.
That's what I was getting
Oh,
at.
well, that's-
The fee schedule's in that part of the code.
Yeah, the fee schedule's Appendix L in the residential code. I knew this was gonna be confusing, but I don't know why they do that.
Okay, well, that's what Councilman and Victor and
All right.
I were, I think the confusion was there, right?
Sure. So, in that same vein, let's say you have a residential property with a detached garage. Is the garage part of the residential property in this regard?
It's one structure to me. It's one
Okay.
permit.
Okay.
And just so you know, the homeowners, if they choose to do it themselves, or you want to go do your grandma's house, the way the council left it in the back in 2014 was you could do that free. You'd still have to do inspections, but you wouldn't be charged a permit fee. But what was happening with that is, I'm going to go do my grandma's house, and then ABC Roofing would show up on the weekend to get out of the permit fee.
So this, even if I want to go do my grandma's house, I'm going to have to pay the permit fee?
No.
No.
If your family does it, or you want to do your own home, we do not charge a permit fee.
Okay.
But it has to be the home you live in. It can't be a rental.
But you still have to acquire the contractor's license?
No, not if it's your home.
Okay.
If it's your home, but if you're doing like two or three of your rentals or one of your rentals that you don't live in, yeah, you'll be charged. You'll have to have a contractor's license and pay the fee.
Does it make any difference what material the roof is?
It all has to be approved by the building code. Most of them are class 4 shingles they're all rated by hail and wind and fire.
So you just see a lot more tin ones lately.
I'm sorry?
See a lot more tin roofs lately.
Well, we can only have 10 in certain areas in town. Like where you live, you can't have a tin roof. So. Certain zones, R1s and R2 zones don't allow metal roofs,
But that doesn't influence the cost of the permit.
not on a residential home, no.
All right, any further questions for Mr. Dennis?
I'm glad somebody understands this.
It's confusing.
Well, now that you explained it 3 times to me, I get it, I think. So, okay. All right, any questions at all, folks? All right. I would entertain a motion, this is first reading of this ordinance, entertain a motion on this ordinance on first reading with B, the word license in subparagraph B to be changed to permit, right?
Yes.
Okay. I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd make a motion to approve the ordinance on first reading as amended.
All right. I have a motion from Councilman Deal to approve this ordinance on first reading as amended. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second, Councilman Kelly. Any further discussion or questions or anything? All right. I'll ask for a vote. We are on item number 2, ordinance on first reading relating to roofing permit fees. We have a motion and a second to approve this as amended on first reading. I'll call for a vote. All those in favor of approving this as amended signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, it is approved on a first reading as amended.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to remind the council, besides this fee payment, those folks are also bringing that waste to your landfill. They're paying a pretty good chunk to get that disposed of too. So they, on top of that, they'll pay your dump fees generally.
Okay, thank you for that.
Dennis, if I could ask you to hang out after the meeting, I want to discuss something else with you.
All right, we are now on item number 3, approval of the bills from February 4th, 2026 to February 17th, 2026. And with that introduction, I'd call on Clerk Treasurer Strecker.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Attached to your agenda were a list of bills, and I also handed out an additional set for you to consider tonight. I'd be glad to answer any questions you have on either set of bills.
On the first set of bills on page 3 at the bottom, it says International Association of,
Police.
is that what it is?
Page what?
Page 3, the bottom,
On the first set?
yeah.
Second set?
Or do you mean the
Second
second set?
Chief Johnson answered the question.
Okay.
Thank you, Chief.
And I'd just like to point this out for all concerned. I'm on page 5 of the second set, the New Hope, under New Hope Counseling. Those counseling session fees, although the city pays them, the city is reimbursed 100% for those, correct, Chief Johnson?
Yes, sir.
On the second set for Wyoming Airport Services for hangar repairs.
Those were repairs that Byron Kronk did for the T-hangars and the community hangar to keep the hangar doors from being blown in or out during the high winds that we've been having.
Okay.
And they were tested today, right?
Yeah, I haven't heard how they held up, but yeah, I'm sure they were tested today.
Essentially, he's a subcontractor of the,
Mike Ritchie.
yeah. Operator.
Sorry, go ahead. I was going to say, no news is usually good news. I think if there'd been issues, you'd have heard about it.
Yeah, probably.
I just have a question going back to the purchase of the pool heater, if I may, and maybe Ms. Strecker could help. Is it safe to say that the money we spend on gas purchases helped with that grant?
We are a
Black Hills.
customer of Black Hills, so yes, it did.
Okay.
And, well,
$7,300 this month.
I'll ask during public comment, Mr. Estes, about the status of installing the pool heater.
Mr. Mayor, if there are no more questions about the bills, I make a motion to pay them as presented.
All right, item number 3, Approval of the bills as presented. I have a motion from Councilman Kelly to approve the bills as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I think Councilman Victorine got that. Second by Councilman Victorine. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Item number 3, I'll call for vote. All those in favor of approval of the bills as presented signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, those bills in item 3 are approved. All right, now we are on public comment, and I see Fire Chief Luis Correa out there. Chief, could you give us a report, please?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Yeah, the last couple of weeks we've been pretty busy. We had a couple gas leaks to start off that 2 weeks. We were dispatched out to Potlatch for a smoking cable that ended up being a coaxial cable that was on fire. Then a couple days after that, we actually had 2 mutual aid calls, one for Lyman, a grass fire, and they were just finishing up with that mop up, and we got mutual aided for grass fire in Yoder. So both the Yoder Fire Department and the Torrington Fire Department that were on there, they got cut loose and they went to fight that fire in Yoder. We had a fire alarm at one of the local apartment complexes. That one, we've had a couple of them there. Kind of looks like maybe somebody opens up that door to get away from the wind and smokes their cigarettes in there, and thus sets off the alarm.
So it was essentially a false alarm.
I think so. That's kind of what we've determined with our investigations of the couple calls that we've had to that same location. Then on over on East J, one of the residents thought they could smell gas. We never did find anything. We checked the gas meters for any leaks. We didn't find anything. And well, we had just finished that one up, and we're getting back to the station when we got dispatched out to a structure fire. A smaller rental property was had a fire in it caused by a faulty washer and dryer combo set, I believe. And then, yeah, a couple days after that, we had a couple of smaller grass fires that we were able to get a hold of fairly fast. One on Highway 156 and the other one on Highway 154. On just actually just yesterday, yeah. We were responded to a barn on fire on East 3rd Avenue.
East 3rd?
Mm-hmm. Then down in South Torrington. When we arrived, it was pretty much fully engulfed. We were able to get it out and get it under control. And then earlier today, we got a mutual aid call for a grass fire that was in Lingle, I guess at their landfill. But that's what we've had for calls, of course. Coming up this weekend, we have our annual awards banquet. Looking forward to that. And we are still selling our gun raffle tickets. I think we have about half of them back accounted for. There's still plenty of them out there, I'm sure. But
Is there a deadline to purchase those?
no, we don't necessarily set a deadline. We like to get them a couple weeks before that first drawing. So the end of March is typically when we would like to have them back. Usually by then they're all sold, but like I said, we have about half of them back, and Again, if you're looking for one, get a hold of fire department members, and I'm sure we can find one for you.
All right, any questions for Chief Correa? Been busy, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's been.
Thank you and your crew for your service.
Yep, thank you.
Welcome. All right, Mr. Estes, can you give us an update on the pool heater?
I can. So today, Gearing Valley Plumbing showed up with the new heater. They put the other one in the dumpster and put that one in place and got it about halfway hooked up. So they're waiting on some piping, supposed to be done hopefully Thursday. So it should be all going. GW Mechanical's over there doing some piping on the filter. So knock on wood, everything gonna be working this year, I hope. So we'll see.
So they're gonna test fire it?
Yes. He's gonna do that in the spring. He's gonna fire it, make sure it runs, and then get everything set when you get the water going through it.
We're not gonna put it full test until spring?
Well, he'll have it pretty well to where he knows it's gonna work, and then he'll tweak it when we get going. So,
I can't remember, Mr. Mayor, did we get a 1-year warranty?
we do.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
I just can't tell you how happy I am about the Black Hills Energy Foundation.
Oh,
grant,
yeah, that's a great deal. Absolutely.
And how happy I am about finding a pool heater.
Yeah.
As everyone knows, this council took somewhat of a risk by putting some money into that, refurbishing that pool, and everything was good except that darn heater.
Right.
Last year, and we should have a new heater, and by all appearances, things should go well this year.
And like I told you in staff meeting, with some of the savings, we're gonna try to get a new pump and motor, so we have it on site, so we have a spare. So if we just switch it out, if something happens, we don't have to send it out. So we're getting that spec'd out today. I'm already working on the sign for Black Hills, so I'll work with those folks and get their okay on things, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Any questions about the pool heater? Nope, good work, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anybody else got a public comment? We're in public comment time. Councilman, do you have any?
I'd just like to
Comments?
thank the people that showed up with their liquor licenses,
Yes.
at least come and look at, see what was going on. Even if we didn't ask them any questions, they at least showed up.
And stayed here for the whole meeting, too. Thank you.
Extra credit.
Well, I agree with Councilman Kelly. We appreciate your coming. Thank you. All right. If I don't see anybody out there with public comment or up here with public comment, I would entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss a personnel matter.
I would make that motion.
All right, I have a motion from Councilman Victorin to adjourn to executive session to discuss a personnel matter. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Councilman Warren. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning to executive session to discuss a personnel motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed signify by saying nay. Hearing no nays, we will adjourn to executive session.